is the Big O Show.
All right, we are back. Yesterday, I saw where the Raiders are officially now the Las Vegas Raiders. Did you hear about that? They were going to wait, I think, a couple more weeks, but they sped up the process. So they officially, and that's obviously, Mark Davis is dying to get the hell out of there so he can get his stadium that they're giving him over in Las Vegas, which...
I'll tell you what it is, though. You ready?
What's that?
Vegas just showed you the plans for the draft and this and that. And, it ain't about the draft. We're the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes.
So, you're trying to take our town? Draft? No, we're the Raiders. We're coming.
It's a shame that stadium isn't ready for the draft party, because that's the way it would have been cool to show off the stadium and have that as the draft day and have the Raider Stadium as the
You're
centerpiece
100% right. Oh, they're talking about what? 400,000 people expected to be at the draft?
I've been there, and where they're going to hold it, oh my, go to Tommy Rockers, bro. You're going to have so much more fun. That you're going to be like a sardine, and it's just not going to be comfortable. Tommy Rockers is way better. You're going to be relaxed, sitting down, watching the draft.
They're talking about closing off the strip.
Yeah.
No traffic.
Yeah. So the Raiders officially became the Las Vegas Raiders. This is their fourth name now, right? Because they go Oakland, L.A., back to Oakland, now Las Vegas. So fourth city or fourth name, three different cities for this team. So they're kind of the gypsies of the NFL, the way they've moved around. I think the only one that has moved around more is the Cardinals, right? Because they were Chicago, then they were Arizona, Phoenix, right? What were they before? Oh, St. Louis. They were Chicago, St. Louis, and then Arizona. So that might be the only other one, I guess. I don't know. But 4 times now for them. But here's where I was thinking about this. Here's where they move up on the ladder. While it's a terrible franchise, Mark Davis is kind of proven to be a clown. And he's kind of like the old man was when he was old. Not when he was Al Davis, okay? Because I hate that Al Davis sometimes doesn't get the respect that he deserves, because that guy was a badass. But everybody thinks about the old doddering the old man that just wasn't, with all his faculties at this point. So, but they move up in this sense, because I was thinking about this. I was sitting back going, okay, because I'm already getting prepared for next year. I want to go to Las Vegas again for the Dolphins and the Raiders. I want to go out there and broadcast all week, maybe back at Tommy Rockers, and lead up to that game and have some fun. And, it's another great excuse to go to Vegas, which, I can't come up with enough excuses to go to Vegas. But it becomes now, while Oakland was not, and again, nothing against the folks in Oakland and nothing against the city, but it's not a destination. It's not something that you really wanted. I know San Fran is in a way, but it's not really the Raiders. That's Oakland, right? And so I'm thinking there's a couple of them in the league that it's something that you want to go because of the game or because the city or something like that, or the combination. Lambeau Field is one that I think everybody that's a real hardcore football fan says, I want to go one game. I got to go to Lambeau Field, right? I mean, it was like for me last year when I got to go to the LA Coliseum, I was pumped because, dude, the Coliseum is one of those few fields left that has connections to the NFL back in the day when we didn't even have the AFL, okay? Because that's when the Rams played back in the old NFL in that stadium. So we know how old and how historic that field is. So I was... Even though I didn't get to see the Dolphins, I saw the Seahawks and the Rams there. I still saw a great game, and I was able to go see a football game at the Coliseum, and that to me was kind of a bucket list thing for me personally. Green Bay, Lambeau Field is definitely a bucket list I got to go to. Miami, it's not the Orange Bowl anymore, so it's not a historic stadium. Hard Rock is really nice, and I love Hard Rock, but it's more about a destination. When people go to Miami, it's because they're going to go see their team play the Dolphins, but they're going to enjoy, obviously, South Florida. Kansas
South
City.
Beach specifically.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's not fair. I think there's a lot of places. I don't think South Beaches are. I mean, Las Olas is an awesome place to hang out, bro. Isn't it?
Yes. I'm just South Beach, how it's international, all of Ocean Drive.
I get what you're saying, that everybody's going to definitely
like going
go there.
To New Orleans,
it's a tourist trap.
It's a Bourbon Street.
Right. It's a tourist trap. There's no doubt about that. But I mean, God, Hollywood Beach and so many other beaches all up and down our coast that are so nice. I hate for us to be just labeled South Beach because we've got so much more to offer than just South Beach. And nothing against South Beach, but we have more. Kansas City, I think Arrowhead. Not about the city, but I think a lot of us want to go to Arrowhead one day for a game to experience it. It's a legendary stadium. It's been around for a long time. Everybody knows about the cooking that goes on outside the stadium. I think that's one of them. Dallas. Not because of the team itself or even the city. Dallas is a nice city and all that, but it's really more about Jerry's World, right? Because that stadium is considered as, I don't even know, maybe one of the wonders of the world when it comes to man-made, right? So a lot of people have been dying to see that giant, beautiful stadium that the Cowboys play in. New Orleans. The Dome is a dump, okay? It does have some history because it's been around a while, but it's really more about Bourbon Street, right? If you're going to go see your team play the Saints, it's because you want to go to Bourbon Street and hang out and have some drinks, have some great food, too, on top of all of that. By the way, I wish we were west, so that way we were going home. We'd pass New Orleans, stop in New Orleans, and then keep going home. But we'd have to go 2 hours out of our way to go to New Orleans to go back to Miami, which that's just not productive. That would not be good, especially full of gumbo and stuff like that. That I want to bet.
Look, if we would have had a couple more days, there's no doubt in my mind that at some point we would have shot over there.
Yeah.
But the schedule and the number of days and everything we did good to go to Pensacola to see Steve Harris.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, come on.
Pittsburgh, I thought, was one of those. Heinz Field is not something you really need to see. Three Rivers back in the day, that might have been something you want to be at. This is the was category. Denver, not the new stadium, not the team, not the city. I know you can smoke, all that good stuff. But no, it was about Mile High Stadium back in the day. Not this one, right? San Fran, great city. I lived there, I know. But it was more about Candlestick, not the new stadium that's in Palo Alto and where Stanford is at and all that. Candlestick was on the bay.
So Levi doesn't get it.
No, Levi doesn't get it. And San Fran's a great town. It's a great town. Rams, really L.A., but more about the old stadium. Now that they lost it, because now they're moving into the new one this year, they lost the old one. That's what would have been because it's so historic, like I just talked about. So they have the Raiders have kind of become a destination now for NFL fans. And partly I think it's going to be because it's a brand new stadium. A lot of people are going to want to see that stadium because it should be. It's Vegas, man. It's got to be. If you're doing, I mean, think about the Las Vegas Knights, how they open their games. Nobody opens games like the Las Vegas Knights because it's Vegas, baby. It's got to be a show. So I think there's a part of that you want to go see the new stadium and definitely Vegas, baby. You want to party and have some fun in Vegas. You know what I mean? So yesterday when I saw that, that's where my mind went to that I said, because immediately when they said, oh, we're officially the Las Vegas Raiders, in my mind I was like, man, I cannot wait for the Dolphins game there next year. I'm already going to Vegas for the draft. And I'm already looking forward to my next trip to Vegas, which is going to be for the Dolphins game. How crazy is that? It's phenomenal, by the way. But that's what came to mind to me when the Raiders announced the official naming of their team, the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think a lot of you probably are thinking the same thing. I've talked to a lot of Dolphin fans that they're going to Vegas for that Dolphins game. All right, and listen, a lot of you Dolph fans that are watching and listening to us here on the show, you don't live in South Florida. You might live out west. And so to you, it's a blessing in disguise that they're going to Vegas. It's a shorter flight, probably more affordable for you. I'm sure flying to Miami and staying in Miami cannot be cheap because we're not a cheap town. Let's see. Big O Ty from the Bronx. Good afternoon to you and Bill. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What else do we have here? Dante had weapons in Chris and Moss, which made Culpepper better. Yes, and Jake Reed. That's what I said. They were smart. They got guys that were tall, lanky, had range because they knew they didn't have a quarterback that was accurate. So they had to get guys that could make his life a little easier. Just throw it in the vicinity, and you knew that Moss, Carter, and Reed would come down with it. That's one of the great threesomes of all time in the NFL when it comes to receivers. That was one hell of a combination. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the Big 12. Yesterday, and you know what? I got to look it up because I don't know if there's been any update on behalf of the teams. But the Big 12, did you guys see this? The Silvio DeSouza, you know, the brawl, and he got the stool and almost swung it. Unfortunately, the coach saved him and somebody else from some serious, injuries and was able to take the stool away in time. The Big 12 yesterday handed out their suspensions. And James Love got 8 games. Antonio Gordon got 3 games from K-State. David McCormick from Kansas got 2 games. They gave Silvio DeSouza 12 games. That's all they gave him. They didn't kick him off the team. Now, I'm hoping that Kansas is responsible enough and does kick him off the team. I find this as disgusting as Tom Osborne suspending Lawrence Phillips because he grabbed a woman by her weave, his girlfriend, and dragged her down several flights of stairs. And obviously, Lawrence was a terrible human being. And this is a guy that Tom Osborne knew he needed him, so he suspended him for the season and then whipped him out for the Orange Bowl and went on to win his only national title. And that's because Tom Osborne knew that was the only stain on his career, and he was dying to eliminate it. And he'd do it even to the extreme of playing a scumbag and a loser and just a total zero of a dirtbag in Lawrence Phillips. And Souza will be back for the final game of the regular season and tournaments. How's he supposed to learn a lesson? What did he miss? I'm trying to pick up on this. What's he missing? A couple of regular season games? But he gets to play in the tournament. How about this? How about let him play the rest of the regular season and then he's suspended for the tournaments? That's how you hurt him. That's how you hurt Kansas. That's how you send a message that this isn't going to be. Personally, I would suspend him, period. The regular season tournaments, kick his ass off the team. Send the message. Dude, you're going to the NBA anyways. Get out of here. That's what you should have done. That's how you send the message that this is unacceptable. I saw that and it was like, are you kidding me? You're going to actually allow this guy to come back to play the important games. No lesson learned whatsoever, man.
Well, then you're not just hurting the player, you're hurting the University of Kansas, and we can't have you hurting the Jayhawks.
Yeah, but they obviously care too much about the Jayhawks, more about the Jayhawks than they do about human beings. Because if that's the way you're going to carry things, I think it's so weak on the Big 12's part. It really is. How you're going to allow that guy to come back. Don't forget, by the way, to give us a thumbs up here while you're watching the broadcast always. And we appreciate you keeping it locked here. And, of course, pass on the word. If you're listening to the podcast right now, you can reach out to us on the accidentlawfirm.com text line anytime, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the program as we take you, of course, till about 2 o'clock, I would say. We got about another hour left here on the program. We got a bunch of things that we got to get into here on the show. Oh, man. Just, I don't get it. How do you not suspend that guy for the rest of the year? How do you not kick his ass out? And
I think what they're thinking, man, is if he actually did something with that stool and hit somebody with it, but he's just lucky that somebody grabbed it from behind him.
That's why I'm saying
if they don't do that, there is no doubt in my mind that guy's swinging with that thing.
Right. And so then that's when you're going to do it? So you're not suspending him because you saved him from himself. But it's not because he's going to learn anything from this. You're giving him a couple of weeks off is what you're doing. Because if you're suspending him now and allowing him to play in tournaments, you're letting him play in the best part of it. It's like I was watching Hell's Kitchen the other day, and some guy, Chef Ramsay, just ripped into this guy and kicked him out of the room, right? Because he was slacking. Apparently he had some, I don't know, he said his neck was stiff or something. He was like an excuse guy. And he was just whining about it or whatever. And then his team was behind, and the other team they won the challenge, so they were out and about having some fun in the town. And the other group had to then do some prep and cleaning and all that, and he's supposed to help. But what he did was he lied there in the couch for a couple of hours because he said he felt bad, and everybody else was doing all the grunt work. And then when the next challenge started, he then joined in. And so he did not do all the bad stuff that the team had to do. He joined in on the good stuff on the next challenge. And the rest of the team was pissed at him that he was, wussing out and making excuses and not sucking it up and helping them. That's exactly it right there. That's what it feels like to me. It's the same scenario. You're not punishing this kid by suspending him 12 regular season games and letting him play in the postseason. You're not teaching him a damn thing. That's just, it's insulting. It really is. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. And don't forget, the program is proudly brought to you by Choice Mortgage Bank. We love Choice Mortgage Bank and Michael Kodsey. Right now, we can get you into state rates under 3.5%. Call the owner right now. Make sure you tell him that we sent you. Make sure you mention the Big O Show, 561-441-2730. And this guy is on top of it. Nobody's going to work harder for you to get you that best rate out there so you can save money and have more money to pay bills and enjoy a vacation, your kids' college fund, all that kind of stuff that you want to enjoy. Call Choice Mortgage Bank. Don't get locked into a bad deal because that's going to put you in a bad spot for a long, long time. Call the man that's going to fight for you. Michael Kodsey, Choice Mortgage Bank, 561-441-2730.
Plus tax.
All righty, welcome back. We take you till about 2 o'clock. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, it's 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the show, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. You're watching us here on YouTube. You can always send us a message there on the chat board. We can read your questions, comments, insults, all kinds of good stuff there on the chat board. We are out here at Ladd Peebles Stadium, site of the Reese's Senior Bowl. Unfortunately, today we are not witnessing practice, so I'm going to have to get the reports from some of my NFL guys, and they'll have to give me the skinny on what's going on over at the practices today. And I'll find out some stuff, and we'll pass it on, so I'm not worried about that. A lot of bad weather out here today, unfortunately. So we're out here. Hey, don't forget, I know Bill plays the commercials all the time for Rockville. And we do want to remind you that we've got several passes that we're giving away for Rockville. So you got to send us your full name, your email address, and your phone number, cell number preferred. And that way we can contact you if you win. Okay, because we're going to choose a couple winners here, and, we got to contact them. So if you want a shot at winning a pair of passes to go see the great festival that is Rockville in Daytona Beach this year, not in Jacksonville anymore. They moved it over to Daytona, which I think is really, really cool that they moved it over to Daytona. But we are going to give away a couple of those passes, and so the only way you can win them is by entering on our accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. And send me all of that info, and we will try to, of course, pick a winner soon. And for those of you that don't know, let me just give you a little taste. Metallica's there, Deftones, Social Distortion, Dropkick Murphys, Rancid. Let's see what else. Disturbed, Offspring, Stained, Alter Bridge, Lamb of God, Bad Wolves, Hell Yeah, Joyous Wolf, New Year's Day, Metallica again, Leonard Skinner, Godsmack, Mastodon, Anthrax. Let's see what else. There. And Hero the Band also. I like Hero the Band. Two of the openers. I've got to be there right from the get-go on Saturday and Sunday because I love Joyous Wolf and I love Hero the Band. Those are two that I'm a big fan of, those two bands. I got to be there right from the get-go. That's like at noon. That's going to be awesome. Rockville in Daytona. Are you kidding me? And we'll be broadcasting from there. So we'll have all kinds of interviews and things like that. So make sure you tune in for all that good stuff. Let's see. What else do we have? 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Did you guys see this? I mean, I got to make fun of it. I got to laugh a little bit about it. The Mavs, they've had some injuries at center. So Dwight Powell tore his Achilles tendon, really important player for them. He was, what's it called? They've got a couple of other guys, Maxi Kleber and those kind of cats, but they want to actually, get some help at center. So they've reached out to Joakim Noah. And I know Joakim played some in Memphis last year. That guy's knees are shot. What the hell are the Mavs thinking? Joakim Noah, is that really the best that you can do? You can't trade for somebody. Like, there's got to be a scrubby team out there that has a backup center that they're willing to trade to you. Joakim Noah? At this point, isn't Yannick Noah in better shape than Joakim Noah? I know some of you out there aren't old enough, but Yannick Noah was a tennis player, and that's his dad. And
he did win one major.
Right, the French. And what's it called? I think at this point, Yannick Noah might be a better center than Joakim Noah. I mean, Joakim Noah's knees are all done, dude. Seriously, Are we allowing walkers in the NBA now? Huh? Can Joakim Noah play with a walker or a standing cane or something like that? I mean,
he's got that fancy hurricane.
Well, maybe
the one that flexes and everything.
I don't know what it is, but I saw that story yesterday, and I was kind of laughing my ass off. Like, man, you have fallen deep if you think that Joakim Noah is what's going to help you. Oh, my Lord. That is crazy, man. Oh, caught the show yesterday regarding a Hall & Oates and Squeeze tour. You've probably watched this already, but in case you haven't, do yourself a favor and watch YouTube Daryl Hall show, Daryl's House. He meets with bands and does their hit covers. Cheap Trick, Nick Lowe, etc. Good stuff, Bill and Simmy. Yes, I have seen it. I watch that show all the time. I love that show with Daryl Hall.
Actually, the last time we saw him on stage, he was advertising
his
show.
Yeah, his guitar, whatever, band, belt. What the hell is that thing called? Whatever, the thing that holds the guitar. Guitar strap. There you go. The guitar strap has Daryl's House on it. So he's always promoting it on tour. But, yeah, I see that show all the time. And, by the way, I got good news. I don't have to go to Tampa anymore to go see Squeeze and Daryl Hall and John Oates. Look, I've seen Daryl Hall and John Oates 1,000 times. I'm good. But I found out now that Squeeze is coming on their own to the Broward Center. I think it's August 16 or 19 or something like that. I forgot what date it is. I'm looking at it here. I'm trying to get the email. But I saw that, and I was like, giddy, bro. That is awesome. So now I don't even have to travel up, and I can see. It's all right if I miss Hall & Oates. I've seen them 1,000 times. I'm good. But I've never seen Squeeze in my life. So that for me was a real treat that I found out that Squeeze is actually coming to South Florida. And not only that, because if you watch them with Hall & Oates, they're opening up, and Bill mentioned it yesterday, 10, 12 songs? And yeah, hey, it's 10, 12 that I've never seen before live. Now, Squeeze will probably do a nice 15, 20 song set. I'll get a full Squeeze show, and I can get all excited and squeeze myself on the way home. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Let's see. I see. I don't know why I get this all the time. Hi, I hope this is the right number. I am Alex and would like to contact. I can't put the name. I don't want to do that. Regarding a property at, I don't want to say the address, order of selling it would be an option. I don't know why I'm getting this all the time now. Somebody's sending me stuff.
You don't want to move from Kendall, brother?
No, I don't. I'm happy. Moving is the worst, bro. I never want to move again. I told my wife when we moved into that house, I said, first and last time, never doing it again. I just want to stay here forever, please. And I probably won't. I'm sure I'll be moving. What position do you sacrifice on the 53-man roster to stash that many QBs? Sir, what positions do they have that you make it sound like they're overloaded? Who cares? You'll be short on something. Doesn't matter. What's it? And actually, for 4 QBs, one of them would be on the IR. So he wouldn't take up the 53-man roster. So it would be 3. Because if you have Tua injured, if it's Tua and he's injured, you're going to put him on the IR. Because he's not going to start the season with the team. He's got to be on the IR. So you're worrying yourself way too much with all that stuff. The Heat refuse to lose at home, just need the stress of these close games and overtime finishes. Well, hey, listen, as long as they're winning, that's all that counts, man. That's all that counts. You know? So it's one of those things that we can't complain. You know what I'm saying? But hey, what can I tell you? 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to me on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us there as always, because you know that's a 24-hour talk show that we've got going on Twitter. Did you guys see the Flyers mascot, Gritty, and the trouble that I don't really think he's in, but technically, apparently,
this
Gritty,
is this crazy-eyed looking thing, right?
Yes. So, Gritty the mascot has now been accused of tackling a 13-year-old boy. Okay? Now, the father takes the son to a meet and greet in November for Gritty, right? So let me give you the storyline here. Let me read it here. Local Philadelphia man Chris Greenwell said he brought his son Brandon to meet and greet with Flyers mascot. And this is what transpired. In Greenwell's telling, Brandon playfully patted the mascot on the head after the photo was taken. As Brandon walked away, Gritty got out of his chair, took a running start, and punched my son as hard as he could, Greenwell said. Now, there is no video footage of the alleged incident because there were no cameras pointed at the area where the meet and greet was taking place. Greenwell sent an email to the Flyers about the incident, and officials for the team said they investigated and found no evidence that Gritty punched the teenager. Greenwell then went to the police. That's when this all went public. His central piece of evidence appears to be a chiropractic report, right? Or I said it wrong. Anyway, acquired after Greenwell took his son to get his back checked out. Now, the idea, Gritty, by the way, who is like 6'7" listed, all right, that he would actually do something like this and pick up the steam and tackle a kid.
He's got those crazy eyes, man.
Yeah, but it's just, you know. So Comcast Spectator official said there was no proof that Gritty hit the boy, offered special perks to make it up for the bad experience. Greenwell suggested that the Flyers show his son on the giant scoreboard or let him into the locker room to meet the players and get autographs. The company offered to sit Brandon on the players' bench during warm-ups for a future game. Okay? Now, we're talking about a guy that waited a month to make this report. Okay? And first of all, he was just unhappy about whatever experience it was with Gritty. And I don't think anything is going to come of this. This looks to me like a shyster. This looks to me like a guy that is trying to just get money and find a way to make a lawsuit, bring some attention. And the fact, you know what's embarrassing about all of this is that this loser is using his son for all of this. Because I don't believe the mascot did this. I don't believe any mascot's really going to do that. And the story is it sounds so fake. If a mascot tackles and punches your son that way, there's a fight that ensues right there.
Oh, everybody would have seen it, man.
Yeah, and everybody would have seen it. But there is not a father in the world that is not kicking that mascot's ass right there on the spot. So either the mascot gets arrested or you get arrested or both of you get arrested, and then the story comes out, hey, that guy tackled and hit my son. I'm not dealing with that. I'm going to put this guy out. And then we would all understand. But there is no way that anybody is going to tackle your son in a dirty fashion like that, and you're just going to sit on it for a while now and not report it. Come on, man. There are people in this world that it's almost like they just want to, they're just out to cause problems. What was What was that word that Neil Rogers used to use? Agent provocateur. That's kind of what this guy reminds me of, right? He's an agent provocateur. That's what I see there with this clown. And again, to put your son in the middle of all of this, I just find it so low class. It's not even funny. And listen, I get it. Philadelphia is easy to target. The fans are rude. They boo Santa Claus. They pelt him with snowballs. They boo Mike Schmidt. Michael Irving is on the ground with some kind of a spine or neck injury, I think it was, and they're whether they were yelling or celebrating or booing, I forgot what it was that they were doing with Irving on the field. And I get it, he's a Cowboy, but damn, how about being a human, you know? And after the Super Bowl, Eagles fans like tore up their city. You go with an opposite jersey to an Eagles game, and there's a good chance that you will be assaulted by several Eagles fans. I mean, there are so many countless stories about how bad and how rude Philadelphia fans are that I get it that we would pass it on to that the mascot has also got to be rude and terrible and all of that. But I just have a hard time believing that the mascot's going to tackle some kid and come with a running start and punch some 13-year-old kid. You get arrested right on the spot for something like that. You get in a fight with any father at that moment. Tell me, is there a father listening to me right now? Is there a father watching this show right now? Is there a father that has downloaded this segment right now and you're going to allow a mascot to hit your son? And you're not going to do anything about it? You're just going to walk away and then maybe a month later report it? Come on. There's no way that anybody believes that. Wouldn't mascots get an adult has been abusive? I think most people that are mascots, they kind of know that they've got to, get along with people. It's kind of like a given.
Unless you're the Philly fanatic.
Yeah, well,
his job is to antagonize.
Yeah, but he has fun
entice.
with you. But he has fun.
Of course.
It's not a bad.
And he's probably one of the best.
Yeah,
he's probably. Without a
definitely.
doubt.
The San Diego Chicken was like that too.
Tommy
for a while.
Lasorda, though, truly hated him.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, Elaine, lots of people hate mascots. Michael says, I would be arrested. I'm with you, dude. Mascot hits my kid. Oh, dude, it is on. I am just pummeling that mascot. The funny part is that you're fighting and at the same time you're trying to take off his equipment, right? You're going to be ripping off that head because you don't want to punch the fake head. You need to punch the real one. So it's like the first thing you want to do is like rip off that head and find the real head so you can pummel it. You know what I'm saying? It would be a funny video. You have to admit that if a mascot tackles or punches your kid and then you have to then get into a fight with the mascot, it's going to be funny video. And it's going to go viral if somebody films it. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that guy that beat up the rabbit in the middle of the street. Did you guys see that? There was a rabbit that, I forgot what the rabbit did. It might have grabbed somebody's purse or it messed with somebody the wrong way. And then some dude stepped in and beat the crap out of the rabbit. And the video went viral. Look it up. Guy beats rabbit mascot or something, and I'm sure it'll come up. It's a funny-ass video. And the guy I think he was being kind of a hero there. I think he was coming in to help somebody. I don't know I forgot what it was. Maybe somebody can see it and then tell me what the hell it was, because obviously I'm doing the show. But I remember that video, I want to say it was like maybe 9 months ago, something like that. It was funny. And that's what would happen to you in that scenario, because most of us would end up in a fight with a mascot. And Gritty would be, feeling some pain, as Clubber Lang would say. All right, 786-322-1105. We talked about, that's the accidentlawfirm.com text line. We talked about how the Raiders are moving to Las Vegas, and yesterday officially named themselves the Las Vegas Raiders. The question is, and I don't know what to believe, right? Because you've got to say one thing publicly, but then you don't know what goes on privately behind the scenes. And I know what the track record is. So now there's a story out that the latest buzz here, according in Pro Football Talk, it says, emerged after soon-to-be free agent quarterback Tom Brady attended the recent UFC event in Vegas, chatting openly with Raiders owner Mark Davis. Derek Carr addressed the situation on Wednesday, offering unveilings of the Raiders as the first NFL franchise in Las Vegas. He says, there's a lot of quarterbacks at that fight, Carr said with a laugh via Paul Gutierrez from ESPN. And there was a lot of football players at that fight that are free agents. And it's like every time with my job, it's always a story, no matter what. And knowing that some people that were around, I even know that there were conversations between Davis and Brady. And it's like, come on, man, when's it going to end? Right? So joking aside, Carr doesn't seem to appreciate the presumption that it's just a matter of time before the Raiders throw him overboard. All of these things that you'd think everyone would be like, yes, we're going the right way. Everything's getting better, and we know where we need to add things and where we need help. You would think that would be the story, but that's not how it works. And I understand that now, Carr said, especially when people are seen with certain people. It's like, oh, gosh, well, I was at dinner with Davis last night, and does that count for anything? Golly, it's just funny, but I'm used to it now. But I'll say it this way. I look forward to taking the first snap in that stadium, and I look forward to taking every snap from here on out until I'm done. So Carr, takes the high road in all of this, but he notices it. And I think all of us kind of notice this. You know what I'm saying? And you just wonder whether smoke is there fire. Is that the case right now? Are they really going to trade Derek Carr? And where I would tell you that you've got to believe it to a certain extent, John Gruden went and acquired Rich Gannon years ago. When he got the Bucs job, he went and got Brad Johnson. And last year when he took over the Raiders, he added several free agents, and they became the oldest team in the NFL. Not in 19 and 18, his first year. This is a guy that likes veterans. He just feels like it's easier to coach the veteran player than the younger player, and he's probably right on that sense. But it's interesting how maybe it's a media thing like it was here with, the owner wants Lamar, and it wasn't true. That kind of stuff. So maybe it's more media creation than anything else. But you are talking about the one dude that somehow or another ends up with old players. And he is comfortable at signing old players and adding them to his roster. It really is amazing. And that's why when you see the Derek Carr story, it's like, okay, wait a minute. This is one that it doesn't make sense because Derek Carr's played really good football overall for that team. He's been a good quarterback. He's had the injuries. That's the one thing that, if you want to give a knock on Derek Carr, he has not been a durable player.
That one season they were 12-4 or whatever,
and
he went down. Man, the Raiders had really had a shot to make some noise in the playoffs,
right?
No doubt.
Yeah. So that's why
when they played, you saw not having their quarterback, man, that was a different team.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying that if you really look at it now, okay, there could be some truth to all of that. It's there might be a little substance to that story. You never know. And it's weird, man, because he's a young quarterback, a guy you can build on. Interesting. What else do we have here that I want to? Why don't we do this, folks? Let's take a quick little break here. We'll come back on the other side. If you want to get in, you can chime in on the YouTube chat board on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, which is 786-322-1105. And don't forget that, of course, our show is proudly brought to you by Moody's Dental, and they are the implant and Invisalign experts. Why don't you start 2020, man? Call them, get a free consultation, 305-821-0231. That's what I did with my Invisaligns. You can do the same thing. Go to moody'sdental.com. Maybe you need an implant or any of the other basic needs, from cleaning your teeth to fillings to root canals and crowns. They do it all. State-of-the-art equipment. I'm telling you, because I've been there several times. 305-821-0231 or go to moody'sdental.com. All right, welcome back. We take you, of course, just a few more minutes left here on the show before we wrap it up here. And then we will await, hopefully, an interview or two from practice from the first session. We will try to get somebody on for you. One guy says, sounds like the end of Ace Ventura. I don't know what that, oh, yeah, the fight, yes. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay. All right, I like that. Nice job by you. Did you guys see the whole thing between T.O. and McNabb? McNabb was on with my man, Master Tesfastian, from Bleacher Report. He has this this segment called Untold Stories. And you know what? I'm going to get Master on. I had Master on recently, but I had him on my Sirius show, not here. I'll get him on here so we can talk a little bit about this. But he had McNabb on, and McNabb was pointing out about, you know, how T.O., what's it called, was, you know, the cancer and how much damage he did to the team and all of that. And so this whole thing has gotten, you know, crazier and crazier between those two. And Terrell Owens just started to then tweet out all kinds of things about Donovan McNabb. And I'm going to read you some of his tweets that he put out there. Basically, let me see here. Yeah, just tweets. Let me put this out here so you guys will know. Terrell Owens goes, since he was so good, he shouldn't have needed me to get back to the Super Bowl. Remember, he said I had nothing to do with them getting to the Super Bowl because I didn't play in 2 playoff games in which I was still rehabbing, but I kept them from going back. All right. And then he goes, he's starting to send stuff to Master, right? And he goes to Cole Wright. He goes, Cole, I'm in Florida minding my own business. I guess bringing me up is his way to be relevant again. He's talking sit-ups and pizza, me playing basketball in my backyard, et cetera, but I broke up the Eagles? No, DUIs and sexual assault cases. Model citizen over here. Which, you know, you can't, T.O. has everything on his side when it comes to that. T.O. doesn't do any of that stuff. You can say that he's a petulant child and he's immature and he was selfish and that kind of stuff about the team, but the dude's not a criminal. He's not hitting women and he's not abusing people, and you never find him in any of that. And where I got to defend T.O. in all of this, he didn't bring this on anybody. This is Donovan McNabb, who, by the way, apparently has a lot of skeletons in his closet and should not be doing this and going after T.O. Okay? So T.O. Then, you know, continues to tweet out a bunch of other things, like Here we go. We heard your story 100 times, dude. No more, please. McNabb wasn't bashing you. He just answered questions and explained from his viewpoint. He goes, keep that same perspective when I explain from viewpoint. Nah, you heard what you wanted to hear. Better yet, you heard what the media reported, which isn't factual. So again, when I answer questions, just keep the same perspective, which is true, right? And so, Terrell, I mean, you can say whatever you want about him, again, as a team player or lack thereof at times. But Donovan McNabb is a guy that probably should not be the one pointing fingers at anybody, because he's also the guy that when you look at him, there are things that you kind of question yourself too. And, you know, throwing up in the huddle and all that other stuff, those are things that are like, dude, is the moment too big for you that you're so nervous about this?